welcome back everybody to the channel. I'm Yummy.com. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter. I guess I'm supposed to say give this video a thumbs up or a like or a subscribe or one of those buttons. I'm new to this, I'm sorry. Probably have a couple videos on my channel at this point, but this is probably like I've recorded a bunch of videos at once, so I don't even know what order this is going to go up in. I've already talked about my husband list, hopefully already, and I've put that video out. So this is just a Midsummer Night's Dream at this point. This is a mid-year point to check in on that list, because usually by the middle of the year that list has drastically changed, especially because a lot of that is coming from 2018, like the things that I thought in 2018, and Lord knows 2018 Yummy wasn't the best. You know, she wasn't the smartest, in case in point. So we're just going to review my old list really quickly, which was Bo Burnham, Manny Montana, David Dobrik, James McAvoy, Rami Malek, Andrew Sawicki, Lamar Johnson, Jacob Banks, and Taryn Eager. Now this list has changed drastically. It even has a surprise twist that's never been done on any of my lists. If you want to know what this list is, you can go back to the video. I'll link it in the comment section, in the bio link box down below, but I'll maybe quickly explain it to you. It's basically, I came up with this idea to make a husband's list of each year of the men that I think are doing, men or, you know, of people who I think are doing the best in the industry, who I would most likely marry if they asked me to, and just like love in general and appreciate. So it's not necessarily like I'm attracted to that person, but a lot of the times it is. I'm not gonna lie to you. Who would I be if not a liar? But those were the people that were chosen at the beginning of the year. So this is talking about January, early January. So 2018, basically, I chose the 2019 men, and a lot of it was chose based off of movies that were coming up, albums that were going to be dropped, or whatever. And now that we have those, seen those movies and dropped those albums, I have an update to the list. Usually what happens is that 2 or 3 people change on the list, because I usually have the same, a lot of people. Like Hozier's been on the list for years now. Like, he was on the list this year, but usually he's on the list. But it usually changes, like 2 or 3 people. This year, the entire list basically changed. There's a couple of people who were able to stay in the running, like Andrew Sawicki and Jacob Banks and James McAvoy. They were all able to stay in the running, but everyone else basically got replaced. And we're going to start off at the top. So we have Jacob Banks, of course, our songstress du jour, our Game of Thrones loving Nigerian Afro king, you know, like just giving all the vibes all the time, and his voice is so soulful. It makes me cream butter, like it makes me want to churn butter like an old maid and listen to him sing. It's beautiful. It's just great, his voice. Next up is number 2, which is Andrew Sawicki. Andrew Sawicki is the cameraman and editor and co-creator with Shane Dawson on all his docuseries, and basically all the good stuff that I love about Shane Dawson's channel now is in part, I guess you could say, to Andrew, because I mean Shane wasn't making that content before Andrew came along. So yeah, so he's a ginger, which, you know, as we know, I may do a story time about this later. A good ginger could ruin your life, you know, just ruin you. Speak from experience. But I chopped my hair off for a ginger. We're not gonna get into that. That'll be a story time for later. If you guys really want to hear that story, comment down below and maybe I'll tell it in the next video. Next up, well, he's great, but next up, this is a new one. Everyone else on the list is basically new. Is RM from BTS. As you've seen, I have maybe I don't even know how many videos I have on this channel. Not over 10, and 3 of them are BTS. Most likely at this point, 3 of them are BTS, and that shows you, like, I get obsessed with things fairly quickly, and this is just one of the new things that I've gotten obsessed with. They're very, very talented. And RM, I was torn between RM and Suga, or if I should put them both on the list, but I figured I shouldn't put both of them on the list because there's only 10 slots, and it seems wasteful, I don't know, wasteful kind of, to put 2 people from the same group in like the top 10. Suga definitely is number 11. I only chose RM because Suga is cute. He's so adorable, so beautiful, and then has that hood. I think I talked about it. He just has that hood quality to him that a lady loves.
Hard eyes, motherfucker.
Just, ugh. Like, shoot dice in the streets. I love it. But it's just that when you first see him, you don't get that appeal. RM, like, when you first see him, you instantly think, like, Blue Steel, runway model with a thug soul. Like, that's what he kind of looks like, an anime runway model with a thug soul. He has, like, these long anime legs, too, and dimples. Like, it's just, it makes sense, the overall look. I think I chose it, like, if I were to go strictly off of sound, it probably would have been Suga, but I went off of look and sound and just, like, initial, like, RM is basically who got me into BTS, because I saw that Billboard performance, I saw RM, and I was like, Daddy. And then I found out the rest of them, and I was like, Suga, ooh, also Daddy. I shouldn't say Daddy, I have a father, so it's weird to say Daddy like that. Next up is Garrick Bernard. I don't even know if I say his name right. I say it the way I hear it said, so Garrick, but I definitely don't know how to say his last name. Like, Bernard, I guess, would be it. He's a comedian. He was on, I was gonna say Ladylike, not Ladylike. He was on BuzzFeed. He did the Moving In series with Kate. I don't know her last name, but I also love her. And he also did this really beautiful in-depth piece about suicide that I really loved as well. He does stand-up comedy now.
Just be observant for a second. Just look at me. So, okay, so Garrick wears skinny jeans and glasses. You watch anime, right? Yes, I do. Let's talk about that.
I follow him on Instagram, and, like, he actually commented on an Instagram post I said, and I laughed really hard when I wrote this joke, so I'm glad that he also laughed. And it was like a highlight of my day. I was like, oh, he thought I was funny. Because, like, when a comedian tells you you're funny, not in so many words, not in any words really, he just wrote ah ha ha ha, which I've written and not laughed at, but it doesn't matter. And when a comedian you admire tells you, like, to me that's like if Michael Shea would ever respond to my DMs. Like, you know how many times guys, this is a serious, Michael Shea's not on the list. Neither is Colin Jost. Colin Jost used to be on the list, but then he got engaged. I can't even be mad because Scarlett Johansson's beautiful. But Michael Shea, like, I think he's gonna block me soon. Like, I slide into his DMs constantly, and it's not even like off of like a no, I'm trying to like touch your pee-pee or like, you know, nonsense like that. It's literally because I just think he's like really, really funny and really, really talented, and I'm like, I will organize your sneaker collection for you. Hire me as your assistant. And he literally posted, he was like, dang, I lost my bracelet or something, and I was like, it wouldn't happen if you hire me as your assistant. Like, I really just want to work for Michael Shea, really want to organize his sneakers. I just want to be around to see how his brain works, because it's insane. Like, he doesn't ever go too far, but he's always teetering on the line of like, is this funny or offensive? And I kind of love it, and I kind of want to see how his brain works. But that's regardless, that has nothing to do with my husband list. But Garrick was, he was on BuzzFeed. Now he writes I think he writes for HBO. Yeah, and he does stand-up comedy, and he's just really, really funny. I love his stand-up routines. I'm not gonna link it probably down below, but I definitely would like to talk. He just has this really good one on Comedy Central, like, about the N-word.
No, not at all. Because if you're gonna say it, that's when you say it, bro. I clap for him. I feel like he didn't even mean to say it. The word just kind of manifested itself, because that's where it belongs, deep within the bosom of liberation, right?
Next up, James McAvoy. He's another returnee. He made the list again because he's an X-Men, and I love watching him in that wheelchair. That sounds so weird. So weird. No, okay. I just love James McAvoy, period. I watch everything he's ever been in, which is ridiculous, because now I have to watch a horror movie. I have to watch It Too, which makes me so upset, but I watch everything he's ever been in, and I really just appreciate him as an actor. And he just has this funny Scottish bad boy. I'm never excited when people get divorced. Do not, because it's like terrible. I feel sad or whatever. But when I heard he got divorced, I'm not gonna lie, I was just a little bit like, so I have a chance. Like, obviously I was sad for him. He's a child, whatever. Not whatever, but like, yeah, obviously I was sad, but I was also like, so like my chances just infinitely went up, right? Not obviously not because I haven't met him or anything, or I don't think he's into me. I mean, if he is, hit me up, but probably not. Next up, Chris Evans. Chris Evans, because I'm excited to see what he does next. Chris Evans has always been one of my favorites, even before he was in Captain America. He was in like those weird little rom-coms, like about cellos and like What's Your Number. He was in just like funny rom-com-y situations all the time, and I really, really loved and appreciated his work. Wasn't he in like Snowpiercer too? He was in like good movies too before, like outside of being Captain America, which is just enough to get you on the list, period. He did also other great movies, and now he wants to direct. And honestly, like when I'm having a bad day, I turn on his Instagram. I like look at his Twitter and I just read through his Twitter. Like him and John Mulaney, I just like read through their Twitters, and I'm just like, I feel so much better and so much more calm and so much more gracious for the day, you know? And Lin-Manuel Miranda, but I only like Lin-Manuel Miranda with his good morning messages when he's like, you're worth it. I'm like, am I? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, perfect. But yeah, and speaking of the next one, John Mulaney is also on the list this time. I didn't put him on the list before because I didn't have space, but I always love John Mulaney. He has a special place in my heart. He's the reason why I want to marry a Jewish man so badly. Like, not because he's Jewish, because he's married to a Jewish woman, and their conversations, like when he talks about them in stand-ups, seem so hilarious, and I just want to have them with my own husband or whatever. But regardless, like, I do love John Mulaney. I think he's really great. He did this one skit on SNL. I think I added him to the list because he's invited to the cookout. That's another video we're going to talk about. It's also on our podcast. Don't worry, stay tuned. You can check it out there in the episode 6, I believe, or 7. We talk about who's invited to the cookout, which is essentially like who's, like, the cookout is like the metaphorical black block party. And if you're invited, that means like you don't have a black card, but like you're like you can come in, like, you know, you're invited, you're welcome. No one's saying you can cook the potato salad, but like you can come in or whatever. And I think John Mulaney definitely has it. I'll put he did a sketch about like it's just great. I'll put a clip in here.
I'm here with my girlfriend.
Hi, I'm Lisa. You two know each other?
Yeah, we went to the same fraternity.
Which one was that?
Kappa Alpha Psi at Howard University.
You know.
Next up, Jacob Anderson. Jacob Anderson is Raleigh Ritchie. I don't know if I say that right ever. I never know if I say that right. But I literally did not know this man was the same person until like 2 years ago or a year ago. I listened to Bloodsport randomly off of like, it was like on some TV show or something, or on like a fan edit or something, and I heard Bloodsport and I was like, this is my new jam, period. This is like in 2013 maybe, or 2014 or whatever, and I was like, Bloodsport, that's it, boom. And I literally thought that Jacob Banks and Riley Ritchie were the same person because I was listening to Bloodsport and Worthy by Jacob Banks at the same time, like in my life, and I just melded the two songs together. But I think they should do a song together, but that's besides the point. Riley Ritchie is also Jacob Anderson, and Jacob Anderson, if you don't know, is Grey Worm on, I was gonna say How to Get Away with Murder, no, is Grey Worm on Game of Thrones that just ended recently. He's, you know, Commander Missandei's Boothang with no balls or whatever. But anyways, he's a great artist. Like, as a singer, as a person, he seems really, really funny, like in his interviews. But as a singer, he's very, very, very talented. My favorite song, I already planned a tattoo around it. Like, Time in a Tree is my favorite. It's one of my favorite songs that I've heard up to date now. Especially like it has like that old school feel, but it's still singy. Like, and like he mentions Vienna by Billy Joel, which is one of my other favorite songs. Like, it's just beautiful. I have like, maybe I'll do a video. Again, if you want to see a video about the tattoos that I want to get, I don't have any currently, but the tattoos that I want to get, then you can totally talk about that. Just tell me down in the link below, or on Twitter, on Instagram, or whatever. But I have a tattoo that I want to get based off of his song Time in a Tree. It's like a Lorax tree with the Alice in Wonderland clock with watercolor kind of like look, and I'm really excited for it when I like eventually get it. But Time in a Tree is my favorite song. In the music video's amazing, like so low budget but so looks high budget because it's just such a great concept or whatever.
Did Billy Joel have self-esteem? Maybe Vienna wouldn't wait for me.
I just want time in a tree. I need a place just for me.
So Riley Ritchie definitely, slash Jacob Anderson. And then the last person on my list is a shocker because this has never happened before. I've never had a woman on the list. I'm straight, so like I never really like, I mean obviously I know women are beautiful. Duh. We're way prettier than men too. On top of that. But I just never had a woman on the list because like, you know, I don't really like vibe, I guess, well with like celebrity women. I don't know. I don't want to say I don't vibe with celebrity women, but like I don't usually like I wouldn't put them on my husband list or I guess spouse list this year. But I do have Sophie Turner on the list. It was really hard to choose, like speaking of Game of Thrones, like I was really hard to choose between her and Maisie Williams, but I just keep thinking back to that gif of her chugging wine and I'm like, that she has to be on the list. Like she had to have made it. Like for that gif alone, and then the fact that she is queen in the North, as she deserves. She wanted to be queen since she was a baby, and she did it, baby girl. Baby girl said, follow your dreams no matter where they take you, and she did it, and I'm proud of her. So she gets the title of number 10 on the husband list. Number 10 is Sophie Turner. Bad. And then she got married in Vegas after the Billboard Music Awards. How, like, it's just, I would put, Joe isn't even as dope as her. And, like, I love the Jonas Brothers, but, like, and I think they're a beautiful couple. Don't get me wrong. And I love Joe. But, like, she's even above Joe for me. Like, everything. Because she just is so, she literally took over America. She's a superhero in Dark Phoenix. She's a queen in Game of Thrones. And she married a Jonas brother. Like, literally, I saw a tweet. I think I'm going to put the tweet up here. Someone was like, George II or George the whatever walked so that Sophie Turner could run. Because she is running America right now, and I appreciate it. She's the last one on the list. If you want to see the list, I'll put them in order down below. But tell me who would be on your husband list, your mid-season husband list, you know, your updated husband list. Do you think I missed anyone? Do you think there's anyone important? I know Lionel Richie is like right behind me, but I wouldn't put him on my husband list. Yeah, so just give me your opinion because I really want to know. Like, I often forget people up until the last minute, which is why I have to do a mid-year update. Because if I don't do a mid-year update, then I'm like, I forgot this person. I can't live with myself. So just let me know who you think in the comments down below, and then maybe we can make a bracket or something and figure it out. Thank you for watching. I'm Yummy.com. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure you like and subscribe. Haha, this is the first time I've actually done it properly. Be like, make sure you like and subscribe. Like Zayn Hijazi. Like, do you like to subscribe to me and all my friends? All my friends. But seriously, if you like it, thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe. Don't worry, I'll be back, so stay tuned.